Hi everybody, I'm Show 60 of Toku Break and Shonen Barbershop. It's Morphin time.
Hi everybody, this is Loli Lexi here, and happy almost Halloween! Yeah.
I'm Zonga Fielding, and Busters, ready, go! Well, today, since we are close to the All Hallows Eve and Halloween and all that mess,
You all need to wear condoms if you guys are gonna hook up at a party and get drunk. Don't need no STDs.
Bring some Trojans. Not lifestyles, and not no fucking magnums.
Yeah, what these guys said. I'm still not sure what Dwayne said anything about this. Anyway, now, back on topic. First digression, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the topic for today is horror movies.
And horror movies like scary movies, not horror movies with horrors.
Or basically movies where the black guy is always the first to go.
Basically, it's going to be our favorites as well as our not so favorites. And we're going to talk as to why we like these particular movies and why we don't like the ones that we dislike. Now, to start us off, Showa, how about you? Go.
Okay, to tell you the truth, I am not very big on horror movies, but if I had to pick ones that I truly respect, I would have to go with the original 1970s Prom Night. Now, the reason why I liked Prom Night, granted, according to today's standard, it is kind of corny, but to me, it stood out of most of the horror movies because instead of being in some spooky house or some resort like how some of these movies are in this day and age, it took place at a high school prom. And in my honest opinion, how the hell can you beat that? That's one of the few unique concepts. With that being said, there is a mysterious killer running around thinking it would be a nice idea to go on a killing spree with everybody on the greatest night of a teenager's life. One of my favorite scenes was when, I think it was this one dude that got his head chopped clean off. Just clean off. That had me and my brother scared, but at the same time laughing our asses off at the same time. I thought that was just freaking awesome. Now, when I heard about them doing another prom night, which is more PG-13 rated, more family-friendly compared to the original one I just mentioned, which was R-rated, with sex all over various parts of the school, back when cameras were not even made, I thought to myself, yeah, I need to buy a gun and shoot myself with it, because I don't think that's ever going to happen. Me watching that crap. But my point is, Prom Night was one of the most respectful horror movies I could ever see myself watching again and again and again, just for the sake of laughing and having myself scared shitless. Now, the worst horror movie that I've seen is between two. It's between two horror movies. And these are low-budget C-list movies that can be found on Netflix.
You're a C-list movie.
Hmm?
You're a C-list movie.
Whatever. Well, I love you too, Lexi. Anyway, there was one that featured Marquise Houston, Omarion of B2K, and some other female C-listers that I could give a rat's ass about. I think it's called The Cabin of Horror or whatever. I don't know. You can find it on Netflix. The first... I'm surprised that I survived like the first 15 minutes of this fucker. Oh my god. It is the most shallow piece of crap I have seen in my life. I couldn't get past the other 15 minutes because it was just so cheesy. It was so corny. The couples were so damn near perfect. It was like, there's not one damn flaw ever. Not even with Omarion's character and his girlfriend. It was bullshit to me. Afterwards, I just turned it off and just switched to My Little Pony.
Aww. Wayne.
Yeah, but anyway, there is another one that I hated so much that me and a particular lady friend saw. It was about a guy who kidnapped girls for every month, so he can do all sorts of things with them. And it also featured Vivica A. Fox. And it was just ridiculous. It was just cheesy as hell. So, to sum it up, greatest movie of all time in my book in the horror department, Prom Night, the original 1970s movie. Worst? I think it would have to be Cabin of Horror, or whatever it is. I don't know. Don't care. That movie and the other one I just mentioned suck.
Well, that's really surprising. I thought you were going to go in a completely different direction. I was wrong.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. Now, Lexi, would you like to go next?
Okay. Let's see. Favorite movies, it's really no surprise, but I'm a huge Rob Zombie fangirl. So, it's no surprise that my favorites are House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, his Halloween creation. Although it's a redo, but it's a lot more sadistic and bloody and gory than the original Halloween was. You have Werewolf Women of the SS and Halloween 2. His El Super Beasto is my favorite just because it's a horror comedy sex movie. It's very dirty. Lots of sex. Just lots. It's the cartoon style of it is very 90s. That's one I say you see in. Another favorite of mine is Carrie, which is pretty old, and Silence of the Lambs. I really love Buffalo Bill. I love him. And I like Mr. Hannibal Lecter. He helps the lady into finding Buffalo Bill. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of Prometheus, but I do like the Alien vs. Predator movies. Although, when you get Alien vs. Predator, there's no real winner. I don't know. I just like the really odd movies. Some of the movies that I feel are more crap, they're like real, very real crap. Or some of the newer ones, like they're redoing a movie that came out a long ass time ago, like in the I'm not gonna say long ass time ago, but when we were in the 90s, and I think it was the Witch Trials.
What are you talking? I can't remember the name of the movie.
Well, anyways, that one. I didn't really like Ginger Snaps Back. I liked Ginger Snaps. I like werewolves. I don't know what's up with me in that one. Some of the more crap movies, even though it's more of a romance to me, but I'm not a fan of Twilight, so I don't like anything Twilight. I don't really care. I do, however, like Human Centipede and Human Centipede 2, although I would not suggest watching Human Centipede 2 alone, because you won't make it through that movie alone. You need some extra person there just to push you through it. The first one wasn't bad, but the second one, just nasty. Just nasty. That's a bad movie in all sorts of ways. Let's see. I would also like to say It wasn't a real good movie to me, but I did like oh god, zombie clowns from outer space.
You mean Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yeah, those. And you had and you have the Haunted Carnival, which has little bunnies in it. that shit these little eggs, and the eggs are creatures, and the clowns wrap the dead bodies up in cotton candy, and these kids go in there drinking the cotton candy, and they takes them like 5 minutes to realize, hey, what's that in the cotton candy? Oh my god, that's my mommy. It's just funny to me and fucked up, but a crap movie at the same time, just because they didn't really try, but it's so funny. I don't know, I actually think the way that they were drinking the juice inside the cotton candy cocoon, that maybe they could have continued drinking the juice, because it must have tasted pretty delicious. I don't know, what would you consider Queen of the Damned?
Queen of the
Not a good movie by any means.
I liked it. So you can suck my penis. Yeah.
Her extending all those words. She sounded as, not to sound bad about Aaliyah, but she sounded like she was trying to be Eartha Kitt's Catwoman. And so,
Well, she didn't have a choice in to sound that way. They made her sound that way. They wanted that sound.
It's still rather. I'm just not a big fan of that movie.
I know. What you need is a hug, though.
I don't need any hugs. Anywho.
Another one that is is Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's from like 1959.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a sci-fi shocker with aliens resurrecting human Earth's dead people. Let's say the casting. I don't know. It had unrelated shots that really made no sense.
Like the penitentiary.
Yeah. And what they could have done to make it scary was add a bit more of a homemade charm to it. So it's like pleasure, not terror.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, they have it on Netflix.
I might have to look this one up.
And you have Creepshow 3 from 2006. How do I explain that one? Don't let that dude eat you out. Just say that much.
What?
The dude has like, one of the guys, he has some undeniably creepy mass in his mouth. His teeth are just all pointy. His mouth looks like one of those fish that you would see in Finding Nemo, that big fish where the Dory's like, oh, come here, little squishy, and then it's just like a little light, and then the big fish lights up, and the mouth is huge with points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's by Stephen King and George Romero. Just, if you want to watch it, be prepared to kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's a bad movie, but it's good. I tend to end up, when I watch that one, my mouth, no matter what, ends up dropping open just because I don't know what to make of it. Oh, and there's some nasty movies with like lots more of sex. I don't know if you guys have seen one of the Halloween movies, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kills the students while they're fucking. I also say Leprechaun in the Hood. Leprechaun. Yeah, in the Hood.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, why that ass fuck of a movie series?
Because it's Leprechaun. You gotta get his gold. Won't give him his gold. Hey, personally, thought that movie was alright, my ninja.
Leprechaun in the Hood is not really all that great. You've got Puppet Master. All the Puppet Master ones are pretty interesting.
It is campy beyond all, which is always a good thing in my opinion.
When I think about it, I'm reminded of another movie called... Okay, they made a horror movie out of Frosty the Snowman.
I know.
Yeah, Jack Frost or whatever. He was a serial killer that somehow became a snowman.
Yeah. That shower scene. Oh my god, that shower scene. That sorting ass shower scene. He shoved the carrot right where his dick should be. And actually raped the girl to death.
With a carrot.
Yes.
That's you, Dwayne.
The fuck? Why the hell would I rape a girl with a fucking carrot? To the point where she dies.
No. Show, this is you. You rape her with the carrot just before she's gonna die. You say, no. I'll give you a break. I'll let you live. And then continue to rape her. Be like, you're not gonna die yet.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, I would kill myself before raping somebody.
With the carrot.
Now, beating someone to near death, that would be awesome. If I was a psychopath.
Yeah, dog. Anywho.
But now it's Zonga's turn because
You're up, Doctor.
Yes. Well, one of my favorite, I guess you can call it a horror. It's sort of a horror adventure movie. It is Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. It is a visually stunning movie, very great, has a great story. That is one of my favorite, I guess, pseudo horror movies. Another, I might have to add, American Psycho is one of my favorites. It's a fun movie that I can watch, talk about, joke around with, probably say every line in the movie. It's a really, really great movie in my opinion. Now, another would be, this is a toughie. Well, this one isn't my favorite because it's a good, one of my favorites because it is not a good movie by any means.
Zonga.
Yes.
Do you know that vegetables are a form of fetish? Having sex with people with vegetables?
Yes.
Yeah. So technically that carrot thing, you never know, Dwayne. You might find a chick that turns her on.
How the hell did we get back into that part?
I honestly don't know.
But continue, Zonga. I'm just trying to help Dwayne out.
I suppose. Now, the last one is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it is horrendously entertaining. And this movie is Birdemic, Shock and Terror. I love that movie just because it's so horribly made and terrible. And believe it or not, I am a fan of terrible things because I find them unintentionally hilarious. And sometimes that's all it takes for me to become a fan. I've probably seen that movie at least 20 times or so. Yeah. Now when it comes to worst horror movies, worst movie, starting with Birdemic, it is the worst I've ever seen, ever. But it's still entertaining, regardless. Now then. The second one I would have to say is, any movie that overuses a jump scare, and I'll explain that later in the show. I just hate just about any movie that overuses jump scares.
I have a question, Zonga.
They're just annoying.
What do you think about? Have you seen any of the Thumb movies that pick on horror movies?
No, I have not.
No.
But
like you have the Blair Thumb Project, and then
I've never.
Yeah. Those are horribly bad movies that are oddly entertaining.
I've never seen one of those.
I think Dwayne has.
I doubt that. But if you want to talk about Rule 34, there's For the Hills Have Eyes, there's The Hills Have Thighs, and for the Blair Witch Project, we have The Bear Wench.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Blair Bitch Project.
For anyone who's interested, there is the Texas Dildo Massacre. No, Vibrator Massacre.
What is Rule 34?
If there's a porno for it, it exists.
Yes, if it exists, there is porn of it. That is Rule 34. Now then, another movie that I utterly despise that called itself a horror movie. Jeepers. No.
Don't you dare say Jeepers Creepers.
Yes.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna beat the bitch out of you. I'm gonna rape you with a strap on. A barbed strap on and flog your ass till it bleeds.
You would just become a reverse mugging.
I'm gonna flog your ass till it bleeds and make you take it up the ass with my big dildo.
Nah, I doubt that would happen. What do you weigh, like, not even 98 pounds?
I weigh 127.
Still, you're tiny.
You're tiny. What's your dick weigh? Like 5 milliliters?
You can joke all day. We can joke back and forth. But, yeah.
Jeepers Creepers was hilarious.
Yeah, but it actually, no, it wasn't. That movie could not entertain me at all.
Especially the eyeball part. The brother's dead and then he's got his eyeballs gone. And the creeper has his eyeballs. He's like, where'd you get those eyes?
And the last and the least is Boogeyman.
Oh, I liked that movie.
No, fuck that movie. That movie.
Fuck that movie. I don't think you can fuck a movie.
I hate Boogeyman.
Are you afraid of the Boogeyman?
The ending of it. The whole ending of it. How the Boogeyman consisted of like a doll, a jacket, and some sort of lamp. That was bull. But, yes. Now.
Aside from that, it was good.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I went and actually saw that movie in theaters when it came out.
Do you like Pet Sematary? Do you even like Pet Sematary?
Yeah, I like Pet Sematary. It's campy, but I think it's alright as a movie. I like it.
Okay, I guess I can let your ass be saved.
Whatever. You can't do shit. Anyway, now, for the second part of the show, I would just like to talk to, or just we can all have this little heart-to-heart with any future horror movie, I guess, directors or wannabes that there might be, will ever be. Now, first I would like to talk about is the jump scare. The jump scare is the lowest common denominator when it comes to horror. It is not scary. It does absolutely nothing.
Is that just a startle? Yeah.
Please stop using those in your movies unless they actually have a point and a purpose, not just to pull off a cheap scream every now and again. Jesus Christ, they're overused, and they piss me off. And they piss off your audience, too.
Well, actually, I think there's a point to bad horror movies that come out in Halloween. People go in there to have a dark area that they can hook up in away from their parents.
I suppose. But even still, those movies, stop using jump scares. Please, for the love of all that is good. They're annoying. Like, well, it's probably alright to use a jump scare if there's like 2 max per movie and you build up enough suspense to warrant said jump scare. Now, the next thing is, yes, music can really build suspense for a movie as well, but you have to use the right music. And sometimes, no music at all can be the right music to play during, I guess, a graphic scene. For instance, I'll use an example. This isn't a horror movie, per se, but it does have a really gritty and violent scene in it that makes you feel that it's sort of grisly. For instance, Ghost Dog with a Samurai. There is a gunfight at the end of the movie, but instead of playing like the loud, blaring rock music or rap music that happens in usually every shootout in every movie, action movie regardless, ever, they play no music. And what you hear is the sound of the bullets hitting the people and going through them, the death throes that they make, the sounds of people in pain, which makes it sound really gruesome and really painful. And oh my god, it just makes the scene much better for that. Because instead of glorifying the gang violence or whatever with a shootout that plays loud, blaring music or whatever, it makes you see this and it looks a lot more gritty and more terrifying and more of a bad thing than what it actually is. Same with a horror movie, for instance. You can have a torture scene, and instead of playing like the usual loud, blaring, like orchestra music that plays in a lot of horror movies during one of these scenes, no music. Sometimes even complete silence. You just see the image of the screen of the person in horrible pain, and it makes you feel a certain way. But also, music can help you, tells an audience how they should feel about a situation.
Also, can I add something on this?
Of course.
Sometimes music that seems unbefitting to the scene also says a lot about the character, also says a lot about whether the character is the anti-hero or the antagonist. Like, say, someone's dying to some happy music. You know that the character that the aggressor character is a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
That can work also.
As well. Another thing to add to you future horror directors, writers, and producers.
Yes.
We're sick and tired of watching, essentially what is deemed gore porn or what have you, with torture porn, where it's just like movies of people constantly getting tortured. There's no real plot. It's just people dying in horrible ways for no damn reason. It's not funny. It's not scary. It's just somewhat annoying. It sometimes even leaves a bad taste in your audience's mouth. only real sociopaths find things like that, I guess, enjoyable, entertaining, that sort of deal.
What I'm kind of waiting on is for a horror movie thing to happen, like what happened with Batman, the whole shooting. I see that happening sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I would actually laugh if it happened. This movie was so horrible. You know what? I guess gonna punish the guys that made it. I'm gonna punish the whole audience, including myself.
Yeah.
Another thing, and this is somewhat of a mistake with people when they start a horror movie, is stop making your character so goddamn invincible up until it gets really good. This is why I mentioned Cabin of Horror with Marquise Houston and Omarion, because the characters are so goddamn god-modded to the point where I can't stand them. It's not interesting. You got to make the characters at least human. Whether it's before the suspense rolls in, or during, or after. You can't just do that. It makes it so freaking predictable. Like, let's just throw in this awesomely super duper perfect couple. That's a huge mistake in storytelling, let alone horror movies.
Yeah. Or try to build up more suspense. You can never go wrong with building up a lot of suspense. That just makes people want to see things happen, instead of just throwing a bunch of shit at their face.
I don't know, I kind of think that's what people want. Because there are those movie goers that know good movies, and then you have the ones that don't know a good movie, and we call those, how would you say, not hits, but the baboons. So you can make easy money off of them.
Yeah.
You see? And sometimes you're just out to make some money instead of really focusing on making it a good movie.
I suppose. It's to my real understanding of a lot of current horror movies is that it's more of a appealing to the lowest common denominator sort of deal. And personally, I don't really enjoy movies like that. Like, I'm not a real big fan of dumb action movies. I'm not a big fan of any movie that doesn't have a somewhat decent story, or tries at least. But sometimes I do sometimes fall for dumb action movies. Like, for instance, the first Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone. I watched it when I was young, and it just stuck with me. I enjoy that movie, but thing is, I've read Judge Dredd comics in 2000 and published by 2000 AD and things like that. I read them. I understand that Judge Dredd is a completely different person. He is nothing like Sylvester Stallone's portrayal of Judge Dredd, but still find that movie enjoyable. It happens. Everybody, I guess, has their one movie that they're somewhat...
Mine's The Punisher.
That they know is big and dumb.
Mine's The Punisher.
Mm.
Yeah. It wasn't that good of a movie, but I love the comic series, so I'll support anything dealing with it.
I kind of liked the first Punisher movie. I actually found it enjoyable.
I wasn't too fond of it. Well, I'm not really too fond of the character in general.
Have you read the comics, either of you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge comic nerd. Everyone should know this by now.
There's one way to know. How big are the comics?
8.5 by 11 usually. It depends. I'll go. Not 8.5 by 11. They're like 9 by 12. It's a weird measurement. They're not like normal size.
He's like, I'm not doing it. I don't know. About the size of a big book. They're about the size of a big book.
I don't know what a big book is.
Let's see.
Is that some term that only people like you use, Lexi?
No, I'm not the only one that uses it. Big book is like the size of a Harry Potter book. Actually, a Lord of the Rings book. Yeah. They're about that size.
What?
Have you read the Lord of the Rings books?
I know that they're large, and depending on the printing and the cover, they can be of varying different sizes. I just know that they're large page number-wise.
Anyways, we're getting off topic, guys, again.
Yes. But yes, I enjoy comics. All the comics.
I enjoy comics, including role-playing, too. But that's a different story.
Everyone enjoys roleplay. Like, currently in D&D, I play a summoner.
I'm talking more sexual roleplay.
Of course you are, but I'm not. I'm talking about roleplay.
I think you and your lady like it.
No, I'm fine. Perfectly fine.
You guys have a very vanilla love style, don't you?
No, we don't, actually. Now, I suppose it is about time.
No, it's not.
To come to the conclusion of this.
No.
Ah,
no.
Do you have anything else to add?
Yes.
I do?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Ah, yes. Go on, please.
Especially.
Nah, that it?
Hold on.
I hear clicking.
Yeah.
Is that you?
No. Let's see. I would like to add in that, I don't know, there are actual horror movies that have scared me. Like, one of them added in Blue Waffle, and that scared the shit out of me. For those of you that aren't familiar with Blue Waffle, it's a disgusting thing.
Why don't you tell them to go look for it? Yeah, you guys should completely go look for it.
If you dare.
It's not an if you dare. Go do it.
Don't blame us if you get sickened by it. We're not responsible for how you react.
Actually, yeah, it's your fault for looking, dog. But still, you should go look for it. Technically, I'm not liable for any dumbass decisions that our audience makes. They make them on their own.
Yeah. You guys can do it. It's really interesting. Yeah. But they turned it into a horror movie, and well, imagine that included in a horror movie for a porno. Yeah. It was disturbing.
Okay.
Man, if that was actually in a theater, you'd have to. Every theater should have like a barf bag.
They would need one because
It goes to show humans are disgusting.
Yeah.
We are disgusting. We're disgusting beings.
Yeah. Now then, time for final thoughts.
No.
Yes.
No.
Ah.
I want to make a statement.
What statement?
Zonga?
Yes.
Okay. We are hoping to make I guess I'm gonna say cheap film. I've been working on the screenplay for it. For the podcast crew. It will not be done by Halloween, but it will be relatively interesting. Yes. Dwayne, you get no choice but to be an alien.
Well, he is one, isn't he?
No, aliens are those people that come from overseas that aren't allowed to be here. That's an alien.
That sounds like it could be indeed fun.
Do I have to make people piss their pants?
Yeah, that's why I've been working on the whole prosthetic thing, because I'm trying to make things like more realistic or more weird.
How lovely.
My final thought is bacon needs to be put into more horror films and handed out at movie theaters.
Yeah, because this generation needs more bacon and zombies.
I mean, imagine popcorn butter that was infused with bacon.
That sounds like it could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Bacon flavored buttered popcorn?
Yeah.
Could be a hit. Watch next week. We have bacon flavored buttered popcorn. Shelley, your final thought?
Yeah, my final thought is that trailer for the Piranha movie. That trailer pretty much explained the entire movie in a nutshell. You didn't need to go to the theaters for it.
I know. I can't believe my friends talked me into seeing that.
I can't believe you went to go see it in the first place.
I had no choice. They wouldn't leave me alone, and then I lost a bet. And I fell asleep during the movie. They're just like, oh, it was so startling. I go, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Popcorn was the only good thing about the movie.
You want to know what's even a greater thing about the movie? The trailer. Because the trailer was the fucking movie.
Indeed. Now, for my final thought, I would like to say, basically, when you try to do something, please put your all into it. Your audience, as well as critics, can see whether or not you put your all into it. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you adieu on this installment of Audiosolvent.
And just do the damn thing.
You know it. So, until next time. Johnny.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have fun. Wear protection and don't do drugs. Except for maybe weed, but that's not on my fault.
Watch for rapists.